Have you gotten over Rusty's bottom bonk yet?
I had until you mentioned it, prick.
Oh dear. We'll move on quickly. Welcome back to the Shuntcast, ladies and gentlemen. BattleBots has been kind enough to give us some more fights to distract us from our Rusty-induced sorrow. So we'll talk about that and try to forget about poor Rusty.
Yeah. Anyway, Axolotl versus Ribbot.
Yes. Axolotl versus Ribbot. The frog versus the lizard, and the lizard got a bit fucked.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I gasped at that last hit because it was just so unnecessary, but it looked good.
I liked the bot whisperer's little pun. That was a nice little pun from the bot whisperer, though. He thought that it was going to get its axolotl handed to it, and he wasn't wrong.
Yes, it was a bit of a borderline where you knew he couldn't say the word he wanted to say.
that was my line of the week. Well done, bot whisperer. Thank you, Pete. I enjoyed that. That was one of the highlights of the episode for me. Oh, poor axolotl though. I mean, it got one good hit in. It had that going for it, but that kind of killed its weapon, and it didn't do very well after that.
Yes. Hopefully it gets a lot of upgrades for next season. Oh, dear.
They do. I'm going to give a shout out to this. They do have the cutest plushies, though. Go and look on the Axolotl team's Facebook page. They are selling various things on their merch store. They got stickers, all sorts. But the thing that particularly drew my attention was the plushies. It is so cute. Oh my gosh, go and get one. I've asked another roboteer in America to order me one so I can avoid customs charges. Hey, nice. So yeah, go and do that.
Yes.
I'm going to have spent more time talking about the plushies now than I have talking about Axolotl's performance, because that's how quick it was. Sorry, Axolotl. Like, we were rooting for you, but well, better luck next season, huh? I did buy a plushie though. I've bought a plushie, man. Forgive me. Like I'm not a cunt. I try. So we'll move on to
oh dear, yes.
A Rotator versus Big Deal. Poor Big Deal.
Yes. Yes. I mean, it did well the first, however long that was, 30 seconds or so.
It didn't go down without a fight. It didn't let Rotator completely maul it. It's like, I'm still going. As long as my drive's still working, I'm still in this fight. Thank you very much. And I admire that. That's courage.
Yeah. The fork got bent, which is always a worry. But,
It's always a worry when you've got bent forks. Yes.
Yes. Never want a bent fork.
No. But a good win for Rotator. It's broken its loss record at the moment.
Yeah, Big Deal was in a bit of a pickle at the end.
Oh
dear. I keep trying.
I'm gonna have to say ta-ta to you in a minute with these jokes.
Oh dear.
Somebody out there will get that. Lots of people won't. Somebody out there will get that and will appreciate that.
Well, they'll look for the source of the problem. But,
That was my line, you absolute bastard. Oh, I am angry. Emmanuel Carrillo, if you're listening, could you please come and take your bent forks and hit Dale round the head with it, please? I should be most grateful. Thank you. We'll move on to, I think, was probably my favourite non-main event fight of the evening. Jackpot versus Lockjaw. Purely because I imagine that the Jackpot team's proverbial balls are feeling rather large right now. Beating Donald Hudson is it's quite the achievement, especially for a budget bot. Just showed up here with my budget bot. I've had an unconvincing win, then a convincing win. Now I've taken out Donald Hudson, put me in the top 32, bitches.
Yeah, I mean, can't argue really. I'm surprised. I mean, I've always, the look of it always makes me feel like it's not going to do anything, and it always does. So fair play to them.
That spinner is obnoxiously large, isn't it?
Yes, it always looks like it's out of proportion to itself. It shouldn't be the way it is. But it is.
Yeah, I said in an earlier episode, when I first saw it, I just sort of had visions of the bot just face planting as soon as it got off the starting square because that spare is just so large. But
Yeah.
you know, it didn't, and kudos to the engineers behind it.
Hmm.
It was a spicy fight. I was a little bit worried for Jackpot at first because there was a kind of moment where you could see that, you know, Donald Hudson's experience in driving was definitely doing him some favors, and Jeff's lack of experience in the battle box was showing a bit. But kudos to them though, they pulled it back and they annihilated Lockjaw. I mean, put these guys in the top 32. If they're not in the if they're not in the top 32, it's a crime at this point.
I mean, yeah, you can't argue if you're going to beat Lockjaw, even on its own, without the other 2 wins. They deserve at least the 32 spot. But yeah, no, credit for Lockjaw, though, not giving up until it did actually die.
Well, Donald Hudson knows not to give up until it dies.
I mean, that's fair. Yes, that's true. But there we go.
There we go. On to Bloodsport versus Kronos. Do you know, Kronos got a lovely one-hit wonder last season against Copperhead, but we didn't see that this time.
We saw the one hit and we wondered if it was going to keep spinning.
Bravo. Oh, it's a
thanks.
shame. Kronos is a beautiful robot, can I say though? I'm not massively into the full body spinners, but Kronos is bloody beautiful.
It does have a certain look to it, I'll give you that, yeah.
It's got a, you know, like the gears and the steampunk theme going on inside it, but it's green and it's kind of gothic-y as well. And the team are very flamboyant. Oh, I love it. It's a very nice design. I'd like it to do well. And that hit on Copperhead last year, it won a good hit award, didn't it? Last season, if I remember rightly.
I believe it did, yes.
I believe so.
It got mentioned, if nothing else.
I mean, I think it was a lot sturdier than it was this season because last season, subsequent fights, reliability was an issue for the Kronos guys. And reliability has not been an issue for the Bloodsport guys this year, and that showed. So Kronos' weapon died, and Bloodsport just kind of played the smart game after that. They fired up their weapon to show the judges that it was still working, but they were not wasting the energy of it when Kronos' weapon was already down, and there was just, you know, there's no point. Smart game, well played. Give it to them.
Yeah, I mean, I wish it would have been a bit more action because once 2 spinners stop working or stop spinning, I should say, because obviously one of them was optional. It kind of it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of it's not boring, but it's like you expect to see spinners spin, if that makes sense. And when they're not spinning, it's kind of just awkward pushing.
Yes. On the other hand, you don't want them to balk their spinner so much that it doesn't work for the next fight. So
I get that, but it's just when there's like nearly 2 minutes or so of awkwardness.
I don't know. There was enough good hits in this fight to justify it.
I get you, but I'm just maybe I did expect more out of my spinners.
So another convincing win for Blood. I think Bloodsport's looking very good for the top 32 as well. If this one isn't in, I will also be quite upset.
Oh dear.
Right, who's the next one?
War Easy against Fusion.
It was a bit of an easy win for Fusion. Thought I'd get a bad one in.
Yes. Well, what Easy good for? War.
It or Red Hypershock, as it seems to be called by the fans at the moment.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those. What's that mean? Mum, can we have this? No, we have this at home.
Mum, can we have Hypershock at home? No. Mum, can we have Hypershock? No, we have Hypershock at home. Hypershock at home. War Easy.
Sure.
I'm being mean to War Easy. I should be nicer to them. This is a new robot, first time in the battle box, and that's never easy, as I know from experience. And Fusion, although itself is a new bot, it's come from a team with, you know, years of experience. So they had a disadvantage from the offset. And heck, you know what? They made it in the battle box. They're not top 32 material for sure, but they made it in, and they did the thing for a bit. We'll give them.
It would like to see them eventually. I mean, you know, it only took 8 episodes.
Yeah, that was quite frustrating. It's like, come on, show us some newer bots. We've had lots of repeats.
Yeah.
And yeah, come on, show us some new stuff. So we got quite a few new outings in this one, really, didn't we? So we had War Easy's first outing, Kronos' first outing, Axolotl's first outing. Well, you only had to wait till episode 8 for it. Goodness.
But yeah, back to the fight though. I mean, a few little floor problems at the start for Fusion.
Oh, the floor. The floor.
And then it got that hit, and then it kind of died, and then easy win.
It was all over after that hit.
It was an easy win. No.
Yeah, I've already done that, Dale. Get out.
Easy.
Right, we need to take a deep breath because it's time for the main event.
Easy.
We're going to take it easy now.
Oh,
Try and calm ourselves.
no, you can't make the joke after I've tried to fail.
Because Scorpios defeated fucking Tombstone. Wah! Klaxon noises. Ah! Oh, just fucking hell, Scorpios. Zach was driving like a demon. I mean, I've never underestimated Zach's driving. I've complimented Zach's driving umpteen times on this show. I know that he is a very experienced and very good driver, but fuck me. He was on Tombstone. He did not let up. The aggression of Tombstone did not faze him in the slightest. Oh, he was in the zone and he was taking down Tombstone, and they did it. And Diana on the weapon as well. That little self-right that they did. Oh, it was so quick. It was just, what a team. Just amazing team effort from Scorpios, and what a win. Just, oh my God. My jaw was on the floor the whole fight. We'll add this as the 4th in my collection of jaw-dropping fights. Because I was just jaw-dropped the whole time. Oh my God. It was just, whoa. Just, oh my Lord. And then it won. Scorpios beat Tombstone. I've said this out loud. Well done, Zach and Diana and Team Scorpios.
I joked about it when the main event was announced that Tombstone would lose, but I honestly didn't expect it.
Yes.
And hell of a fight, honestly. Yes, well done.
Knowing it was the main event and knowing that Scorpios is an experienced team, I expected it to be a good fight.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I did not ultimately expect Scorpios to take the win. And oh, what a win as well. Like, nobody could accuse them of, maybe Ray gave them an easy time or Ray had problems from the offset or anything like, because Tombstone was on fire. Like, Tombstone was its usual scary self, and just. So, ladies and gentlemen, you probably noticed that we missed out Kraken versus Huge, and that's because we were waiting to speak to Jonathon Schultz about it. Hey, Jonathon.
Hi, how are you guys?
We're doing great.
Very well. Yes.
How did you feel about being drawn against the bitey one?
We felt all right about it. We knew Kraken's a really, really tough robot, so we had to make sure the robot was running perfectly or it wouldn't survive all the hits from the fight. But it's not the worst matchup we had. We felt better than when we got Son of Waiachi or Ice Wave and those types. It's definitely a bit more advantageous for us.
Definitely. Did you feel bad about Kraken's face?
I did. It's tough because we love Kraken. It's an amazing robot and it was having a great year, and it sucks because it would be much more preferable if, both teams could get wins going into the playoffs. But that is how it goes sometimes, is you have to find robots you like. But it was a good fight, so I think everyone came out of it all right.
What did you think of their pokey stick?
That was so we didn't see it until we got to the arena. So it was a total surprise. I thought it worked really well and it was smart. They'd mentioned that because it was on the jaw, if they got it through the wheels and bit down, it would actually grab the wheel. Which I thought was really smart because I don't think the teeth fit through all that much.
I think there was one moment where I thought they were going to do that. I thought they were going to lift you up or something. It was like, wee, huge flying.
It worked really good. And it was also as now someone with loud and public opinions on attachments, it was very cool. It worked with the weapon and it was on brand. And I think that was in every way awesome.
I was resisting asking you, was it a better attachment than the bot that shall not be named? I'm trying, Jonathan. I'm trying. We'll get there. I'm trying. Okay.
It enabled and encouraged a more effective attacking style.
That you've thought that through, didn't you? That's wonderful. Came prepared, ladies and gentlemen. He came prepared.
I need to not say anything that's going to get me in trouble.
To be fair, I may have had words with Jake Hewitt, and we may have him on in a future episode. So
oh my,
there's going to be discussion inevitably about the huge Hydra fight. So
it's tough,
so get all your banter in now, quick.
When he can't punch back. It's tough also with the whole situation because just Hydra is a super cool robot, and it has done great things for the sport by existing. And it's just like, I don't know, it was on our list for best design when we were voting last year. Like, it's just such a new thing.
Yeah, it's putting flippers on the map for the Americans, because the Brits are known for the flippers, but it's as an American showing of a flipper, it's a very honorable one.
Absolutely. And last year was like, it wasn't a good year for flippers.
No.
And this year, I mean, Sub-Zero's 2-1 now. Hydra is 2-0. Like, it's a good year for flippers by comparison. It just sucks because, like, I wanted to see Huge hanging from the rafters,
To be honest, that is the reason Dale and I were annoyed about it. Like, take the rules and whatever out of it. I'm not getting involved in that politics. But it was just, you either wanted to see Hydra get splatted by Huge, or for Huge to get flipped into orbit by Hydra, and we got none. It was like,
nothing.
Meh, you robbed us, Hydra, you big meanie pants.
And it sucks because Huge makes good fights. Win or lose, we're getting splattered, or we're getting thrown out of the arena by a cartwheeling gymnast.
Right? Literally, whether you win or lose, Huge is so entertaining just by virtue of its own gangling design. It's amazing. I'm sure I said this word for word when we talked about that fight. It's just, when you have a fight involving Huge, you're going to get a good fight. And I say this not just because you're the lovely person who donated me an eye and I'm sucking up. I genuinely love your robot. And you can't imagine a fight with Huge where it wasn't entertaining. And then Hydra just, well, okay, hold my beer. I'll give you one. No, Hydra, no. But anyway, we'll move on. We have some fan and builder questions for you. Are you ready?
I think so. I hope so.
Okay. First up, Jacob Colton asks, do you have any modular plans for Huge?
We have a lot of modularity built into the base design with a lot of different bar lengths, different wheel options. And then this year we brought a fair amount of different armor that we could bolt to the outside and stuff, just for like different opponents. For 2018 and 2019, we fairly effectively ignored that Sables and Scorpios existed. And figured at some point we'd need to have some plans for that. But I will say also that we've thought about like more modules as different shapes. Like if you saw the Thwackbot we built out of Huge parts and the sportsman event, like that was something that we were half thinking of like, should we bring that? And just decided to stick to the base Huge. In hindsight, I think Thwackbot would have done fairly well against Hydra.
True.
But that's not something we could have foreseen when packing. And the crate was full. So we were making choices of what to bring and what not to bring.
Sam Taylor would like to know where you can get a Huge mask from.
Oh, so the Huge mask we wore on the show was my teammate Maddie, who hand embroidered the hats in 2018, the original hats. She hand embroidered the eyes on a bunch of like store-bought blue masks. I think we may have to start looking into getting those because we've had a lot of people asking about them. Currently, there is nothing available. We do have hats, and we just introduced pins, and those are available on our website, hugebattlebots.com.
Yes, I need to find out who wants some Huge pins and do a little UK order.
Yes, we just put together the ability to ship overseas, which we've never figured out how to do before, and it turns out it's kind of expensive. So definitely group up.
Well, after the Shuntcast, hi Jonathon. but seeing as we're on the Shuntcast, I'll do that with you later. Johnny Cords said that we should ask everyone how it feels to win the giant nut. So how does it feel to win the giant nut, Jonathon?
Oh, it was the best moment of my life. Yeah.
I'd like to thank my mom and my dad and my team and my cat.
And our sponsors.
Of course.
And all the huges lost before this one. It would be the culmination of a lot, but I think it's also like we're not a team that's going to go home sad if we don't win it every year. I think just by virtue of existing,
yes,
sport in new directions.
Everyone loves a good huge.
And we're having a lot of fun also. Like it's just, I don't know why it's still a surprise, but every time huge pulls out a win, we're just like, oh, I didn't think it would do that. Because it's so, even for us, it's hard to believe in sometimes that it works as well as it does. So to get any distance in the tournament or to get a nut would just be cherry on top.
Amazing.
Francois Froll Pelser asks, were you worried about Kraken's fire?
Yes, very. We had a long time to think about it while we were sitting there.
Did it do any damage?
Yes. If you look on Kraken's Facebook page, they put up a post with pictures of the belts and pictures of everything that was in the middle, and we added a few in the comments as well, but it was crispy. Were pretty melted through. They had nearly cut a few drive belts on, I think, when they like pushed us into the wall with the spear. So the drive belts on one side were both half cut through. And then there's all sorts of little like where you have like little belt keepers in the weapon that keep everything in where it's supposed to be, and they're all plastic, and everything was melted and gooey. And
this kind of ties in with the next question because Riley North would like to know how much damage Kraken did.
Oh yes, yeah, it definitely did damage. If you see when we run away also from Kraken after that bite, I don't spin up for a couple seconds until we get across the arena, and then thwack back to like right side up, and that's when I hit the throttle because I just wanted to give it a few seconds to cool, if anything. Like I expected it to come out and the belts to be on fire.
Yeah,
because I've seen that before.
Yes.
On Robot, and I don't know. It's like I think that their flamethrower isn't. It's not the full gruff. Something like a full gruff would have been fatal.
I love how that's a thing now. You're gonna have a flamethrower, go full gruff.
I think full gruff is hard and heavy and dangerous, but I don't flamethrower.
Full gruff is amazing sketchy. Though.
It's terrifying.
I mean, if I owned huge, I would be terrified of it.
We don't. The belts are kind of out there. It's on the list for next year. But we got to side tangent, but because of the opera boxes, the builders being able to watch fights. Like I'd never stood and watched a fight at the arena side before, besides our own. In the classes we've been doing this, and we didn't get the chance to make it out for many because it was, we were pretty short on team this year. There's only 3 of us, but we did get out for a gruff fight, and the flamethrowers in person was just like, it was nuts. So cool. So.
Liam Ayland asks, did you ever think huge would be effective as a heavyweight?
That's a good question. We built it in 2018, and that was off of probably about a year-long sprint of building little huges, which weren't amazing, but they all worked. And we didn't think it would be as good as it was, especially in 2018. We wanted to win a fight and make them like us, and then show up in 2019 and kill everybody. Like that was the goal, was just throw together a huge in a month and see how it goes. I never expected to step in the box across from Bronco, never mind like beat Bronco.
Yeah.
Gigabyte and Hypershock and other robots there. I mean, obviously like Jasper doesn't have the name recognition of a Bronco, but we'd seen them in China.
Yeah.
We'd seen what a robot can do. And that was also terrifying. Like just all of last year was just fights that we didn't really think were going to go our way over and over and over again, going our way. And it was just like, holy crap, huge really, it has something going here.
Yeah.
And
It did have a very good run last season.
we realized it as everyone else did, I think. Is probably the right answer.
I think I've said it on this podcast before that like in 2018 when I saw pictures of Huge, I was like, oh yeah, that's gonna last long. that's a nice little play. But then it's first fight, and I was just like, whoa, shit, son.
It works.
Like,
So
amazing.
what was fun also with 2018 Huge was we designed the whole middle bit, all of it, that wasn't the wheels.
Mm.
We got to a point with that, and then designed the wheels. That was the last piece. And I was like, all right, how much weight do we have left that we can put in the wheels? And we did the CAD and made them. We're like, oh my god, it's so thin. Like there's nothing here. And then we just had to go with it because that was the time we had.
Yeah.
So we were also worried. Those are probably the spindliest wheels I've ever put on a Huge.
Yeah.
And they're comfortably thicker now.
Awesome. Ty Daly asks, not including the bike rack, what are the weirdest anti-Huge modifications you've seen?
Oh, so one of my favorites is one of the first ones we ever got, and I loved it because of how simple it was. There was a featherweight robot in the Northeast called Speedwedge 30, which I think has been sold and rebranded and rebuilt and etc. since. But it was a giant slab of plastic cut out with a jigsaw and with a wedge on the front and like a bottom plate bolted on. And I fought him once when he was a wedge, and that was when we surprised everybody. It was Huge. And the second time he shows up with the Huge stick and the pole pointing straight up. And he just
like a periscope
with it for 3 minutes and beat me.
Oh wow.
I fought it. And it was like, yeah, damn. All right. That's how you take a 3-inch tall wedge and make it reach Huge and beat it. And he, we had to fix a lot of stuff between events, and then showed up at another event with a much better Huge, fought it again, and I have the stick in my collection now. It's a bit curly. But I don't know. That was just one of my favorites because it was the early days and no one had really had any attachments yet. And I thought, damn, that's a good idea.
Nice. Adam Matthew Peckett wants to know, who would you like to fight that you haven't fought yet?
Oh, that's a good question.
Don't say Nelly because I'm scared of you. Your spinner is just right to go after my Lem.
Aren't you going to bring a bunch of spare faces so we can rip them off? No.
Yeah, well, the faces you're absolutely welcome to rip off. But I would rather like it if you didn't mess up my Lem. Unfortunately, messing up my Lem would very much help you win. So I imagine you would absolutely try to do that. However, I would not like that. So this year's faces are entirely sacrificial. That's fine. But
if you're gonna leave it hanging out the top, no. That's a tough one because I do always want to say like I want my Bite Force rematch, as I think everybody does who fought Bite Force and lost. But I also think that there would just be a lot of really fun ones.
I want to see Huge versus Huge. Right?
I would. So
that would be amazing.
I don't think any of the Huges, the mini ones, and other people's builds have ever fought another one. And
no, we've got Straddle by Tom Brewster here in the UK, which I fought and narrowly defeated, which is funnily enough is why I'm so scared of you, because featherweight Nelly has fought Straddle, which is essentially featherweight Huge, and I did get the win, but my weapon system was not happy afterwards. I did lose the hammer.
Straddle has a lot more power in it than at least 30-pound Huge does, but
Straddle was a monster.
It is. He builds good weapon systems. I think I'd love to fight I don't know, something interesting, something that we haven't really fought before. That's a hard choice. I'd love to see what happens against something like a Gruff.
Apart from you getting melted.
I don't know if it go very well for us. I'm just saying, like, it was the same deal of going into last year. I really wanted to fight Whiplash. I really didn't know what was going to happen. I thought it would be interesting. We'd learn something, and we did.
I worried for you with free shipping.
Just same. And it's like, I think that Gruff would be interesting and it would be very new. So it's an opportunity to learn something new. Whereas, if I said, like, oh, I want to fight Witch Doctor, or oh, I want to fight Morizi, or any of the other like vertical spinners, I may not learn more than I already have learned from Hypershock and Bite Force.
Yeah.
So, something, find a new weakness, fix it later. Maybe we need titanium wheels to resist the fire. I don't know. But I just think it'd be a fun one.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. And Samuel Grashoff has 2 questions and he wishes me to ask them in the Queen's voice. So here we go. Question the first. What inspired you to create designs such as George?
Ooh. Mostly the Gabriel versus Carbide fight.
Ooh, that's
a
good
lot
fight.
of it. That's a classic fight. It turns out it's really hard to build wheels to hold up like that. Even trying. So credit to him. But it was that, and first robot was a little vertical spinner called Dakia, and it sucked. And I was mad at how much effort it would take to make it not suck. And I decided to go in a different direction, and specifically one that could kill all of the vertical spinners. And it was partially like Gabriel versus Carbide showed that this could hold up, but it was Gabriel versus Pulsar and Gabriel versus Beast that showed the advantages of the wheels for other things.
Yeah.
And just thinking like, they really can't control it. What if we could get a real big bar on it? Because they just put, an 8-pound disc on a tiny vertical spinner. And what if I put a big bar on it? And that was pretty much where it started. And then it was just a whole process of like, I think 9 months of just solving problem after problem.
Yes, the second, how did you manage to pull it off?
Oh, painfully. So my teammate, Peter, who at the time I lived with as well, who remains, had built the first huge, I guess 0.5, and he picked it up and dropped it, and the metal plates holding the wheels ripped out of the rest of the frame on both sides when he dropped it. That's bad.
That's bad. Oof.
But that was just the process of like, the whole robot's held together by one shaft in the middle, so making that hold up. Power was running through that shaft in the middle on that version, so I had to make that hold up, solve that problem. Wheel mounting, how to make the wheels, bike tire. I machined the bar manually on a Bridgeport I had to learn how to use. Made the teeth and painstakingly did it, and then fed the teeth immediately into the first steel thing I saw, and they exploded. And it was
frustrating.
It was a learning process.
Christopher Spears asks, any new color choices for next season?
Oh, that's a good question. We always talk about it because the white sucks. Because
yes.
It's gray.
If go gold. You keep saying gold team rules, right?
We can bring gold team rules back. I think it'd be fun. I don't know. It's hard to change up. It's hard to commit to a change. But I think it's more just a better version of white and blue. Something cleanable, and we need more glitter in the blue.
Yes.
After I saw like Jackpot this year.
Yes.
Notice the amount of glitter on Jackpot.
I approve as a fan of glitter.
Have you seen the slow motion when it hits something and then the glitter goes?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
We need some of that.
Teasing me with a good time, Jonathon. There we go. That's the end of the fan and builder questions, and we'll move on to a little game of beat defeat judges. It's like Snog, Marry, Avoid, but less creepy and more robots. So obviously your robot is huge, and the 3 opponents you have are Malice, Hijinks, and Shatter.
Oh God, I don't want to fight any of those. I say this. I'm gonna say beat Hijinks. Now I don't know what their huge plan is, and if they have secrets, because they're all smart people.
They are.
But if they run a Hijinks out there as it stands now with the body on top and stuff, I would give it the best chance there.
Okay.
I will say It'd lose to Shatter, and I don't think it would be particularly close. I just think it's way too sturdy.
Yeah.
And never die. And I think I would take Malice to the judges. So it's also very sturdy. But we have, in both cases for Hijinks and Malice, we have some new tricks up our sleeves for horizontal spinners. The wheels for Son of Waiachi did not go too well. So there was a lot of testing in the off season of, with Tiny Huge and 30-pound Huge and designing new types of wheels to take on that kind of opponent. And we feel like we got it fairly sorted.
Awesome.
But obviously there isn't anything to test on yet. So
that's true. Right, that leaves
don't
us.
really know.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Right, that leaves us with the Good Hit Award for this week's episode. I'm gonna say voting for yourself is permitted, which is handy because my favourite was Kraken's face. Dale, what was your favourite?
It's between the final hit of Ribbot.
The final frog tear.
Yeah. Oh dear. Oh, go away. And the the sort of main hit of Fusion and War Easy.
They were pretty good hits, to be fair. Or just the whole main event with Tombstone Scorpios. But yeah, my favourite hit has got to be Kraken's face. But it's Jonathon's choice, and as I unbiasedly point out, that voting for yourself is permitted.
That's a tough one because I came into this thinking about how Scorpios fed themselves into Tombstone at the right angle to rip off Tombstone's wheel. I think is pretty tricky. That
was pretty tricky.
But I forgot about Ribbot's Send It. And I have to be partial, so I think I am going to go with the huge Kraken hit because that I think was the turning point in the match.
It was, and just I love that I'm now not the only robot to have had its face smashed in. Thanks, Matt. Love you, Matt. There you go.
Plastic.
So congratulations, Huge. You got the Good Hit of the Night award from Jonathon. Well done.
You can see it in the fight also. So we get bit and we're right side up, and then after that it's like, all right, let's go upside down. So we're spinning downwards now, and that was going from like, let's see if we can kill Kraken the normal way to like, I'm gonna rip its face off.
Spicy.
And I mean that was like the backup plan for the fight, and clearly up wasn't working. That bit. So it was just to try and do something different, and they did it, and it went poof, and it took a light out also.
Oh no, I'm a fan of that too.
But but somehow spinning downwards, we took a light out, and that I'm proud of, almost above all else.
I love it. It's brilliant.
Never safe.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us, Jonathon. Do you have any shout outs you would like to give before you go? Team, sponsors, mom, dad, your cat.
I would say shout out for my team, because they, some who didn't come along but helped in the process beforehand, and then the ones who were able to come along. There is no Huge without the entire team. I couldn't do it myself. I could barely do the little ones myself. So yeah, shout out to them.
Awesome. Well, Jonathon, thank you for joining us. We'll catch you later.
Thank you very much for having me.
I suppose now Jonathon's gone, you'll be doing the Builders playlist.
I will be, yes.
Fair enough.
See you later. It's time for the Builders playlist. Hey, Al.
Hey.
Hey, Rara.
What up?
The Sky.
I mean, always, but
Right, first up for you, Al, we have Noripo by Halung, as suggested by Scott Hutchins. Here we go.
Kvinna kville
metal, madam. Bronze Age.
Yeah, very. It was just medieval, right?
It is.
You could play this at a Renaissance fair.
You totally could. So, go, Al. What did you think of it?
Oh no.
You know already. So first of all, this song really annoyed me because I spent a good minute and a half trying to figure out why my speakers weren't working, if my Bluetooth was screwed up or my YouTube app wasn't working. And
that is because you ignored me. I did tell you it kicks in at 2 minutes, but you ignored me.
that was like a day ago, and this was this morning while I was having coffee, and and then when it finally started, I was like, wow, I waited for this. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't hate this, and it would probably be okay in the background, but I don't think it kind of struck me as similar to the Who stuff that we've listened to earlier, but not as good, or just a little bit different style, I think. And it didn't really do it for me.
It's not quite as catchy as the Who, that's for certain.
No, yeah, and it's kind of like
Who, you find yourself tapping out, like later in the day, you find yourself tapping down to a Who song, and you're like, oh yeah, I listened to that earlier. Whereas I don't think I would remember this.
I don't remember any of the words to it, that's for sure.
No.
Yeah.
It's got to be in like Gaelic or something like that. I don't know. I probably should have researched this, but never mind.
The title of the song is in German, so.
Heilung is German, and I can't remember what that actually means now. It's like for happiness or something.
Heal,
that's it. Thank you. I completely did my research.
Well, so I asked you how to pronounce it, and you gave it to me wrong, huh?
Did I? Rara, how are you saying it? Heilung. Oh, that's not far off. I wasn't too
no, okay,
far
that's
off.
right. I thought you said. I thought it changed. I thought it was heal. Heal now. Heal long or something.
I am not in any way fluent in German, so I probably butchered that too. So.
Fair enough. Okay, so Al, is it or is it not going on the Builders playlist?
I'm gonna pass on this one.
Aww. Shucks. Sorry, Sam. Sorry, Scott. Even I'm so terrible with names. Forgive me. Sorry, Scott. It's not going on the Builders playlist. But for what it's worth, I like Heilung. Heilung. I'm saying it right. I hope. We'll move on. Rara, what's next?
So next one, we've got a very interesting option to listen to, and it is coming from none other than our boy Orion Bleach. You know, the man
Orion's belt.
Bleach.
I love you really, Orion. You built robot I like. Yep. Who of course this year is on Hijinks, and he has given us Cool by Merv. Have a listen.
I wish I was cool. Yeah, I'm cooler than you. I wish I was cool. Yeah, I'm cooler than you. I wish I had bangs and a black leather jacket, a movie star girl and a big hit record. I wish I was cool. Yeah, I'm cooler than you.
What in the fuck is the album artwork? Pretty fucking good.
When it started off, I was like, what is this, Orion? About a minute in, I was a bit more sold on it, but I'm not overall sure. I don't know. I'm conflicted on it. There we go. I don't dislike it, but I don't know if I like it. But so I'm conflicted.
It took a bit to kick in, but it's worth it.
I'm kind of with you on this one, Sarah. It has a weird. It made me think of something, but I can't put my finger on it yet. It's one of those things that a couple days from now, something's going to pop up on Pandora, and I'm going to be like, "Oh, that's what that reminded me of." It's got something. It says something 80s to me, and I can't place where it has a similar feel. It's a little too choppy for me, so it's not really my thing. But again, I don't hate it. Nowhere near worse than Pantera or anything like that. But
a few. We haven't recovered from last week yet.
Not something I'd listen to, but it's not the worst thing I've heard either.
You flustered us last week. Positively flustered. So is it a pass or is it going in?
I'm gonna pass on it.
Oh, sorry, Orion. Your robot's better than your music taste.
That's a good thing.
Oh, I mean, to be fair, Hijinks is awesome, and Scorpios is awesome as well. That's what we like. We like metal and we like robots. So, and lastly, we have a metal cover of the Pirates of the Caribbean theme tune by Arctrace. Here we go. I freaking love this, and I'm going to be really sad if you don't, Al, but just everything about it I love. I love the original song. I can happily listen to both in the background or properly like enjoy it. But the drumming on this is insane, especially in like the last 30 seconds to a minute. It's just, oh my goodness me, I love it. It's 6 minutes of glory.
It's beautiful, and I'm so happy as well for who it came from as well, because it came from none other than Aidan James, who of course
did. I'm so sorry, I forgot
is
that.
our brother in Brit Hammers.
Our brother in Bonks.
Exactly, which means this can be Nelly and Poltergeist tag team entrance music.
This is very true. Al, put us out of our misery. Did you like it?
I like this song.
Yes.
I like it a lot, and as you guys know, and as some people know, I'm a very big Ailstorm fan. I'm also a Running Wild fan. That's going back a little bit. They were one of the original pirate metal bands, but it's a silly genre, but it's very fun, and pirate type music lends itself very well for some reason to metal, in my opinion.
Really does.
And I really enjoyed this song. I never heard of this person or group, whatever this is, before, but I'm gonna check some of their stuff out. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed this song. It's very fun to listen to.
I don't have time to play a clip for you, but I'm in private. I'm going to send to you a metal cover of The Drunken Sailor. It's amazing. And knowing that you like things like Ailstorm and shanties and pirate metal, I think you're going to enjoy it. So I'm deducing from this, it's a yes for the playlist. Please, 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 please.
Yeah, I'll take this one for sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Aidan. I'm so sorry I didn't say you at the beginning. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. Brother in Bonk, forgive me, for I have sinned. Well, that's it. There we go. Shunt posters, drop some more suggestions on the Builders playlist because we need more, basically. It's quite simple.
Mm-hmm.
Search
that
for
we're just going to have to turn to more of our own ones, and we know that Al won't like those, so...
Yeah, if you guys don't post them, we have to post our own suggestions, and then you guys moan at us because, oh, well, it's you guys doing it all the time. Yeah, so send us your suggestions for Al, and they will be judged. Because who better to judge your stuff than Al?
Of course.
There we go. So that's it for the Builders playlist this week. It's goodbye from Rara.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from Al Kindle.
See you guys.
I didn't actually leave. I've been here the whole time.
Oh, I mean, okay, that's not creepy at all. We'll move on to meme of the week, shall we? I regret to say that it was slim pickings for episode 7. However, this is attributed to the fact that this is attributed to the fact that last week we had Bernie meme mania across the whole freaking internet, and as such there were some Battle Bernie memes, shall we say, and our favorite of these has to go to, well, it's kind of a combined one. David Small from the Malice team made Al Kindle in the Bernie position, and this was then transformed into the Bite Force team holding up Bernie Al in place of the giant nut by Anthony D'Ambrosio from the Pain Train team, and that one was our favorite meme, but because it was using the image made by David Small, we have to give both of them credit. So congratulations, David Small and Anthony D'Ambrosio. You get meme of the week for the Bernie takeover. But we would also like to give an honourable mention to Brian Brugin for the badger bonk up. That one, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
And that leaves us with the Faroukalicious Award, which we're actually going to do this week. I quite enjoyed the Kraken one, but I have to say this week was some assuredly excellent tombstoning. I was my cylinders were lubricated.
Oh dear, that's a terrible image. Yes.
Although I would like to also give a very honourable mention to the Farouk kid. If you've not seen this, you need to either look on the BattleBots page or get onto BattleBots group. There was a little kid with his little microphone standing on his trampoline doing his Farouk intro, even had a quick look down at his little prompt card for effect and everything. And this little guy is so wholesome. Go and watch that video and give it a like. So wholesome and so awesome. But the proper Faroukalicious Award does go to Tombstone. So congratulations, Tombstone.
Yes, congrats, well done.
Congrats, well done. That means it is the end of the Shuntcast, ladies and gentlemen. So it's goodbye from Dale.
Bye-bye.
And it's goodbye from the Queen. Goodbye.